Hello, dear students. Last time we have done the first stanza of this poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. I think you have got it. Now we are coming to the second stanza. In the first stanza, you have seen that the poet is describing about the slum children in the slum area, slum school. The second stanza and the third stanza, the theme is the same. We are having the same theme of slum children, poverty, their life, and all that. So we are going to this first stanza. This first stanza is starting with on soul cream walls and ending with star of words. And in this first stanza, we are not taking that stanza in one go. We are taking it in we are dividing it into two parts. The first part is on shore world its world. These are the first four lines of the stanza. So see this: on shore cream walls donations Shakespeare's had, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, bald, flowery, tireless valley, open handed map awarding the world its world. See, again, the description of the school on sour cream walls. The poet says that the slum school are of sour cream color, means they are dull and not painted for years. These walls are like the faces of the children, dull, hopeless, sore. Sore is pain, painful. And see, donations. This single word is has a huge meaning. The class has so many things that are gifted by the rich people, and they are all called donations. One of these donations is Shakespeare hat. Shakespeare hat is a portrait of Shakespeare. It is also donated by rich people. And cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, means there is a scenery of beautiful dawn, beautiful morning, and it is depicting the beautiful tireless valley that has the bells and colorful flowers, representing the words that is happy, that is celebrating, which celebrates civilization and progress and all that. But that word is totally different from the world of slum children, which is full of pain, suffering, hopelessness, darkness, poverty, etc. So one more thing is there in the class, and that is open-handed map. A map is there that is hanging on the wall of the class, and it is actually depicting, it is representing the world beyond the slum area, the complete world. But the slum children are far away from this world, and they have no access to this mainstream world, to this civilized world of ours. And see the next part of this stanza, that is starting with and yet stars of the world, and yet for these children these windows not this map their world. See, the poet is saying that for these children this map is not their world, this civilized world is not their world. Their world is the slum area. The map that is hanging on the wall is of no use of these slum children, because their world is narrow and limited to the boundaries of slum. Their future is dark, painted with a fog, painted with a fog, painted with pain. Fog is suffering, pain. So their future is not good. Their world is confined within the narrow streets of the slum. They are far away, a narrow street sealed with a lead sky. Lead sky means they have no access. They are actually sealed. Their area is sealed. They are not allowed to go beyond the slum area. and rivers, capes, and stars of the world. These are again the first line, far, far away from gusty waves. So this is far, far away from rivers. Rivers, gusty waves are same. Means they are far, far away from the beauties and bounties of nature. They are far, far away from the stars. Stars that actually brights. That's are the symbol of light. That's are the symbol of happiness, brightness. So these children actually are confined to their slum area that is far, far away from the happiness, from hope, from literacy, and all that. I think you have understood it, but if you have any problem, you can ask me. And now we are coming to the stanza third. These stanzas are very, very important, and actually, the first line of the third stanza, surely Shakespeare is wicked. This is the most surprising line because in the literature world, in English literature, Shakespeare is regarded as the giant of literature. He has got the respect, and now the poet is writing he is wicked. Why he is writing this? He is wicked. The map a bad example, and he is saying the map that is hanging in the wall is a bad example for those children, and we can easily understand it. See, Shakespeare is wicked. Shakespeare is wicked because there can be two logics. First, because there is no atmosphere of education in the class, because there is no learning taking place in the class, and they don't know anything about Shakespeare and his greatness. Second, that is more relevant, is for those poor slum children, Shakespeare is wicked because Shakespeare never talked about uh, poverty. He has never talked about slum people, their problems. He was only talking about royalty. And the map is a bad example. Naturally, it is a bad example because they have never seen that world. The map is depicting the world outside, and they have never gone there. So it is a bad example for them. They don't understand what is there in the map. The second line is, see, shapes and sun and love tempting them to steal. Uh, these all the luxuries of life are actually tempting them. They are attracting them to steal. Steal is unfair means. They are attracting them to apply the unfair means, to use the unfair means because they are fed up of their life that is in the crammed holes, very small dark dingy rooms, slum areas rooms. So they are there in their rooms, in their what we can say, in their very, very small rooms in the dirty place of slum, and they are fed up of this, and the luxuries of the world are tempting them, attracting them, calling them to use some unfair means to come out of that world. And we have to stop this. And their life, again, this is simple line, from fog to endless night. Their life is starting with the fog and is going to the endless night. Endless is never ending, never ending miseries, never ending pains, never ending sufferings. So this is the life of a slum. That is where the pain is never ending. And then the next part of this stanza is, on their slag heap of waste, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. See, some of the children have the spectacles, but these spectacles are actually what we can say, are with mended glasses, are with broken glasses. Okay, see the poverty, see the pain, that even their spectacles are not proper. They are studying with the mended glasses, specs, with mended glasses, with broken glasses, specs. So how can they study with such glasses? And all their time and space, again, all their life, all their history are foggy slum, is restricted to that foggy slum area. So blot their maps with slum as big as doom, and these slum children are the blot, they are the curse for this civilized world, they are the curse for this civilized society. Actually, this society has to do something, this society has to take some initiative to take these children out of this slum area, to make their life better, to take them into the mainstream world. Otherwise, their life will be ended again in the slum area, in that poverty, in that filthiness, in that pain, in that suffering. And dear children, I have given a very simple exercise here, that match the word and their meaning. So here are some 8 words and their meanings. Just read out the stanzas and the explanation that I have given you. Just listen to this what we can say video and slideshow again and again, and you will definitely going to understand these 2 stanzas of the poem. If you have done this poem, you have done 50% of your work, because I have told you that this is one of the toughest poem of your syllabus. So thank you for today. I will send you the question answers of this poem, and then you will note down all those question answers in your notebook and learn them. First of all, you must understand the poem, each and every word of the poem. Thank you and have a good day.